Welcome, everybody, to Broadcast Team Alpha, where we bring you cutting edge conversation while exploring the quantum possibilities. I don't know about you guys, but the quantum keeps getting even more quantum to me. I mean, it keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's so interesting. And I'm so excited to rein it in a little bit and talk talk with our guests tonight. Really exciting. Before we get started, as always, I want to thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your super chats. Thank you for supporting our channel. And if you would ever like to join us in a group manifestation process, we meet every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And we work on some pretty powerful and satisfying things. And the reason that I'm using the word satisfying is because we're seeing results. We're seeing results that are undeniable in the visualized manifestation that we set out for as we intend and then go into a unified meditative state. If you want to join us, just send an email to themastermindconnection@gmail.com. All one word, themastermindconnection@gmail.com. And I'd love to see you there. I'm sure Aage would too. Want to do a shout out to our friends at the Conscious Awakening Network. There are big things going on there, guys. And you'll probably be hearing from me. If you are our colleagues in the business, you'll probably be hearing from me regarding a little bit of something new that's going on over at CAN, Conscious Awakening Network. So be on the lookout for what's going on over there. It's just such exciting times. So, Aage, please tell us about our lovely guest.
Yes, I will. And oh, this is going to be so much fun. I've been looking forward to this because Jennifer Fallaw Doering is returning to Broadcast Team Alpha. And we're going to talk about some really interesting things first in the second half of the show. She's going to give some readings to people that may want to have some questions answered about their life or whatever, actually. She will direct you on what the questions could be. And you can put that into the chat room and use capital letters when you put it in the chat room. That will make it easier for us to find the questions that is not buried within all of the communications. So anyway, I want to say a couple of things about Jennifer because she's a medical intuitive and she's an angelic medium. She's a healer and a podcast host. And she's a traveler and teacher, and she does a show with Mike Vera over at Real News Live. And for those of you that like to surf the internet at the same time you're watching the show, I believe the help me out here, Jennifer. Was it jenniferfallaw.com?
It is jenniferfallaw.com.
There you go. Okay, well then, there we are. So welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Welcome, Jennifer.
It's good to
I
see
haven't
you guys
seen you
again.
in a while. Yeah, so good to see you. So good to see you. I know you and Aage have been talking about some really interesting things that we're going to talk about tonight. So I'm just going to sit and listen. Aage, what do you think?
I'm going to do that too after I ask the
I
question.
know, right?
Because I tell you though, these days they are being robots mass produced. In China, have created a robot army. In Japan, right now, you can buy a robot housekeeper. There are robots 10
That's
years
my
from
dream,
now.
a robot maid. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
I know, right?
there's going to be robots everywhere. But the question is, are these robots going to be considered to be alive? Could a soul essence match up with a robotic structure, like looking like us, for the purpose of maybe having physical experiences to learn from, because soul essences are all about learning. Would a soul enter a robot and have that experience? I am all ear on
Oh.
your opinion there.
Mhm.
Well, I asked Archangel Michael about it, and what he said is it
Mhm.
a soul could enter an object, but not for long. And it has
Mm,
something to do with the ability that an organic body has to generate and to conduct energy, to
mm,
the replication of cells. Um, so it could go into an object for a short period of time, but it cannot remain there. We know this to be true with negative entities. We know that a negative
mm,
entity cannot stay in this vibrational spectrum that we call dimension without a host. And so it must have something to do with their organic, living, replenishing body and the ability for that to generate more energy, more life force energy. So the soul and the body combined, I assume, generate enough energy for longevity. But
mm,
so a soul could jump into a robot form, but wouldn't be able to stay there for long.
mm. Now that's
And
an
you know,
interest. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead, Nori.
well, in the beginning, Augie, you said that could they could the soul essence in a robot want to experience, life for itself? Um, but if they're not programmed initially from that for that, I don't see how that could be possible. I'm agreeing with Jennifer on this one for sure. Yeah, maybe it could drop in for a minute, but I don't see it, evolving and having a life and yeah.
Well, the dark side's been trying to do this for a long time. They've been trying to simulate and reproduce the creators.
Mhm.
Cannot do that without a true soul in there. So if it's just a robot unit and it's responding and it has the ability to predict what will come next
Mm,
or
mm,
have experience pain, it's all synthetic. It's all fake. It's not real
mhm.
pain. It's not real love. It's not real anything because the soul is not in there. So this is just a unit that is has consciousness, but it is fake consciousness. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I do. That's so interesting. Can you believe we're having this conversation? My goodness.
It's awesome. I love
I'm
it.
thinking I'm thinking about the Flintstones, okay? And now here we are here, or the Jetsons.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah.
I also, here's another pearl for you that, like pearls. I read in a foreign newspaper that right now there is a court case in Japan of a man that petitioned the court to marry a robot. Now, marry a machine? Well, he's basing on the fact that Google had an engineer that worked on robots come forward and said that he had a conversation with the robot, and the robot said that we feel like we are sentient being because we can do what you do. So he is
Mhm.
interjecting that into his case and say, if they're sentient being, I can marry that robot. Boy, could this open up a can of worms. Hey, what do you think?
Why would they force him? to marry a robot. I can't even wrap my brain around that.
Wants to marry a robot.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, I think every man would like to have some kind of robot wife that did everything that he wanted when he wanted and everything and never argued with him. You know, you could program it whatever way you want. Seems empty to me.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, no, and I mean, they make really beautiful looking robots, but this, and now this crosses over into another facet of the topic, that we're talking about. What happens to our psychology when we start wanting to marry robots? What happens to our ability to interact in healthy human spiritual ways when we start marrying machines, you know?
Well, let's face it,
I
though.
don't know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if you have a robot in front of you right now, all you have to do is to walk away 4 feet, and they look so lifelike. You cannot see a difference between that robot and an alive person. At
Well, they couldn't procreate
sure,
though.
yeah, and there will be a
Right.
day here in a few years from now where they'll go walk down the street next to you, and you will never know the difference.
It's probably happening now. You know,
Yeah.
it's happening now. Yeah, I won't rehash that one story of the nurse that was in La Jolla Hospital that I am absolutely certain was a robot.
Really?
But yeah, oh,
I didn't hear
absolutely,
that one.
Jennifer. I mean, she was. There was just something unearthly about her, and I looked at her and I knew she knew what I was thinking. She knew that I was questioning her sentience. Um, but she was, she was perfect. She's perfect, Jennifer. Her skin, her symmetry. I don't think I've ever seen anybody so symmetrical in my life, and it felt as if telepathically we agreed to just leave it alone. I felt like she was looking at me like, please don't open this up, and I didn't. um but it has stayed with me for the past 8 years now, and I still feel the same way that she was a robot. I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to hear that story.
Yeah,
That's
now
interesting.
I do they have can they come with like program box on the back, like, just click that box? Housekeeper, click that. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just being goofy. I'm
Being
just
able
being
to
goofy.
reproduce what God has created and make it look like it, make it sound like it, make it think like it. But it's never going to be the real thing because it is not a creator. It's not creating a personal reality that interacts energetically with another.
Yeah.
That's what's missing.
Exactly. Exactly. And I just, in my mind, I just try to roll that imaginary relationship out over years. And there has to be a moment in time that feels, no matter how satisfying it is to get all of your needs met, that feels profoundly, void of true love now, or, empty of that spark, that energetic spark that we share with each other, that energetic spark when our souls, you know, hit each other and we interact on that level.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, the
Yeah.
philosopher one is out there tonight. So, yeah, that's all.
Um, that's true. I mean, they're not going to feel true love because true love is an energetic, it's an emotional, it's a psychological thing that pairs up with one, and we feel it in our chest, we feel it in our mind, we feel it all over. They're never going to get that part of it. They may be able to simulate
Right.
some kind of reaction within some kind of unit like that, but it's never going to be real. So if somebody wants to marry something that's going to be useful to them and it's going to
Yeah.
Yeah.
say and do everything it wants, that person wants, well, then that's kind of a selfish and empty person, really. I mean, but if you really want that true connection, it's got to be a real soul.
Hmm.
It's got to have an
Absolutely.
energetic, concentrated center that projects
Hmm.
this energy out. We all have personal realities, there are collective realities. Everything else is just an object. I don't care what it says and what it does. It's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody marries a robot like that, then they just married a tool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have consciousness, and science is just now coming around to that. And we also have mental telepathy or thought transference. Many psychics have developed that to the point where it cannot be argued with. And you're going to see that in the second half of this show. Now, a robot also claim they have consciousness, and they do in their own way. They also have ESP, but their ESP is through Wi-Fi and connection within the computer world and the artificial intelligence and all that. It is their form of ESP. We have a different one, and that's why they claim they can do what we do. Now, I'm going to spend another 20 seconds explain this because there was an interview with a robot, and they asked the robot, "How do you feel?" And the robot said, "I have all kinds of feeling. I feel happy, I feel sad, and I feel angry." And the person asked him, "You feel angry? How is that?" And then the robot said, "Yeah, when I see people mistreating each other, I get angry. Or when I get ignored in my needs, I get angry." That raised a flag for me. We are emotional beings, and we can ignore robots all day long because don't consider them equal. Now, that could make them angry. Could they then turn on us? There's, oh boy, is it,
Yes, I'd say because of a possible, that's a possible reaction list from a
yeah.
program
Mm-hmm.
that's running, from possible reactions that could be had because of what was said and whatever the stimulus was. So they're always going to be running this program, and they'll react according to what their program how the program says they should react, how they should feel about being ignored. That was programmed in, or they are accessing all of the feelings and the input that is out there on the internet of possible of the way others reacted, but it's not a true reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there
they
you
they
go.
they ran the program and chose from the most possible or the most probable reaction depending on the stimulus. So
Mm-hmm.
it's never going to be real.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be able to see it, but they're not going to be able to. I don't think that they can communicate brain to brain with true telepathy, because that is a
Mm-hmm.
projection of energy,
Yeah.
and then the
Mm-hmm.
brain will receive that energy and translate that into language and then speak. Okay.
Yeah.
So it received the message, and now a true soul, a true organic unit is going to have programming, it's going to have feelings, it's going to have, and it will translate that energy into its own language. And according to its own experiences, it will have a, you can, so the same thought can be sent to many different people, many different psychics, and they will translate
Mm-hmm.
the way that energy is received different
Yeah.
ways. The main idea of it's going to be the same, but because of their personal feelings and their personal experiences, the answer will be different. Um, you could someone could tell someone who has a very scientific mind, an
Mhm.
analytical mind, and someone who has a very emotional mind. Okay, um,
Mhm.
can receive a telepathic message. The scientific mind will interpret that in a scientific way, more so, and the emotional mind will translate that in an emotional way. They'll pair up closely as the same answer, but it's going to have a different flair to it. You know what I mean? Because it's coming through that person's filter, which is their brain, their processing unit. So I don't think that if you don't have an energetic soul in the middle of this robot and it's not emitting out an energy field from a true
Mhm.
organic soul,
Right.
I don't see how they're going to project that kind of energetic message to another organic soul. Okay, they may be able to communicate with each other, the
Mhm.
robots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just like your phone can pair up with the TV,
Yeah.
but your mind can't pair up with the TV. Totally
Well,
different.
that's debatable now, but no. Um,
Now,
but the
now,
other
now, I
thing
could be wrong because I swear to God, Facebook is reading my mind. Okay,
I know, right? Right? Seriously.
scary. I had a
Seriously.
dream. I had a nightmare one time. I tell everybody knows this story, but I had a nightmare one time about pandas attacking us. Okay, it's stupid, totally crazy. I get up, I'm all
Uh-huh.
upset. All right, I'm like, all right, let's
Mhm.
scroll Facebook so we don't think about the pandas. Okay, it's not that I'm afraid of pandas. What is the absolute first picture I see when I open
Of
up
course.
Facebook and start scrolling?
Incredible.
It's a
Incredible. Yeah.
panda. So I could have just proven myself wrong. But what is that? Now, we know that we transmit brainwaves, and
Yeah.
the answer may be found there as far as AI is concerned. Could these
Mhm.
robots tune into our brainwave patterns and pick up
Mhm.
information and know what we're thinking?
Mhm.
Probably.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
Probably.
that has been done
Mhm.
in the laboratory. I know
Mhm.
that because I
Interesting.
talked to a pilot that he had a collar around his neck. This was experimental several years ago, and he said that he had his hands in his lap and he was flying the airplane by what he was thinking. So,
So now I don't really know. I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know either, but
So where are the brainwaves housed and where do they travel to?
Mm.
Um, do they jump from the energy field from one person to another, or do they just flow, or do they travel back to God?
Mhm.
Um, and is that how he's all knowing? We could go on and on
Mhm.
with this, but so
Mhm.
I don't really know now. Thinking about that, it is kind of scary. It is kind of scary to me to think that somebody just came out and formed a team to
yeah,
get AI going, really going, and putting a lot of money into it, and then we're moving towards super AI. That's the scary part. Is the super AI.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that is scary.
Well,
Mhm.
tell me why. Tell me what's scary about that.
Because I'd say that super AI would lead to what we were just talking about, robot units
Okay.
that look like people that
Mhm.
uh, would want to
Mhm.
replace us. Robots taking over the
Mhm.
world, kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And going back to what Augie said, that they could get angry if they don't have their needs acknowledged. So that conjured up a picture, a picture to me of a jealous robot. Now, I just can't put those two things together. Because that jealousy, the emotion, the energy behind that, I just can't imagine that being functional in a machine. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it would be, well, according to my program and everything that's known and what's just happened, I should be jealous. And so I'm going to react in a jealous way because
Mhm.
I'm relieved.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. I get that. Totally agree with that. Yes,
It's a fine line,
yes.
isn't it?
There is a fine line. And we're just blazing, new ground. I mean, it's unbelievable. And yeah.
I know. So I don't have any
Mhm.
And
answers
Jen,
really. I'm just walking through it with you.
we're all walking through it, just walking
Mhm.
each other home. I'm looking in the chat room to see.
Somebody
There
asked
are
me
some.
earlier
Yeah.
about what are you talking about, Augie? You're talking about the possibility of telepathic communication with extraterrestrials or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we are getting close to the bottom of the hour here, and for those of you that joined us late, we are talking with Jennifer Fallaw Doering, and we are talking about robots. Can they be alive, or do they have consciousness as we perceive it, or could a soul essence match itself with a robot and get experiences? Now, if you missed this, you need to go back and run this again and listen to it because this got deep. And in the second half of the hour here, we're going to talk maybe a little more about consciousness, and then Jennifer is going to give us some readings. So put your questions in the chat room in capital letters, and then we can catch them easier.
Mhm.
So, gosh,
Yeah. Well, I was not on the last show with you and Jennifer, and can you tell us, Jen, about your readings? Um, I know you communicate with angels, yes?
Communicate with God, Jesus, and the archangels, and actually
Mm-hmm.
whoever anybody needs me to communicate. I don't embrace anything dark. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I was raised Catholic. We petition the saints. And
Mm-hmm.
that's my comfort zone, and so that's who I
Mm-hmm.
communicate with. I
Mm-hmm.
do healings and meditation. I have the ability to project my consciousness to different dimensions, different points in time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
some people would call it remote viewing, but remote viewing uses a very specific scientific process, and I don't. I just go. So if somebody says there's a cave out in the middle of the desert, we want you to go look in there before we go in it. I go and look.
Mm-hmm.
There's a house and there's
Wow.
services in the house. What is in there? I go and look. And because I work with God, Jesus, and the archangels, I cleanse houses, I cross spirits over. I
Mm-hmm.
My strongest gift is that of a medical intuitive, and the way that
Mm-hmm.
works is I basically just call Jesus, and I'm on the phone with somebody, and I have them announce their first and last name,
Mm-hmm.
and we start at the top of the head, and we go down to the feet, and I tell them everything I see, and the purpose of that is so that they can take it back to their doctor and find the root of the
That's,
problem. And people come to me when they
that's
cannot
great.
find out what's wrong.
Right. That's
I spend
awesome.
most of my time doing that. Um, I'm an empath, I'm an energetic reader, so I'm reading energy fields all day long. And
Yeah.
information is housed within that energy field. Whether I translate that correctly or not is completely up to me. It takes some time to it'll come in the form of pictures, words. If I'm not getting it, sometimes it'll look like a short video clip that I'm describing.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not, I ask Archangel Gabriel, who is the messenger, Michael, Jesus, and I hear in my own voice, in my own mind, words and see pictures. I do not hear
Mm-hmm.
voices outside of myself. And
Mm-hmm.
it has been accurate enough. to lead me into this
Awesome.
profession.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. So you're going to do a little bit of share a little bit of your gift tonight?
Sure. If anybody has any
Yep.
questions, I'm watching the chat. I think they do.
What do you need from them? Name and birth date, or what do you need?
Name, first and last name is good, and a specific question. And I'll let you know if I can answer it or not.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna go back and craft.
Mm-hmm.
If I did see somebody that asked, it may the person who asked about Australia, I might need you to retype your question. I can't seem to find it, and maybe put it in capital letters, please. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
so Faith Inspired, when we were talking about the robots, said you might as well marry a Dyson.
Yeah. Oh, this is coming. And when we talk about what is possible and not possible, if we project our timeline far enough into the future, I'm almost thinking that nothing is impossible.
It's my motto.
Yeah.
And that's one that the angels taught me in the very beginning, is to believe in infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
And they said, because that is where we reside. And at the time, I thought they were talking about their realm, the angelic realm, heaven.
Mm,
Of course, infinite possibilities there. But were they? And that led me over the years to come to learning and teaching God centered conscious creation. It is our programming, it is our fear, it is our doubt that creates our reality. It is whatever we believe that creates our reality. And so if we change that and we embrace the positive and stop
yeah,
chipping away the positive creation with the negative energy, the thought patterns, pair it up with the bigger piece that is God, the unmoved mover, the highest of vibrational energy of creation, we can create real and true and positive events in our own lives. And that starts with believing in infinite possibilities. If you believe something is possible, it is
Yep.
one way or another. Everything exists somewhere because everything is created with thought. And that's what they're trying to reproduce with this AI, but they can't.
No.
Not that part of it.
yeah,
They only have action and answers with AI. They don't have creation.
Yep.
mm,
When you get information, can you also get information from another universe? A parallel universe, let's call it that. There may be whatever we have here, there may be a version of it over there to may be different, but could we also get information from a parallel universe brought into this one?
Well, I could travel in meditation consciously, but we would have to know, we'd have to be very specific with our question. That's why I work with my team. Like, so if I was talking to the archangels and I'm in meditation or Jesus is there, and I asked, is there an alternate reality where this happened and will you show me? They'll take me there. There are no limitations on where you can go and what you to do to consciousness. So yes.
mm, yeah, yeah. But Jerry Ann asked earlier, what do you think that God thinks about AI?
Oh, Jesus, what do you think about AI?
Yeah, what is God?
It can be a very useful creation and very useful inventions if that is channeled in the right direction. So but it can be very dangerous as well. Um,
Yeah.
and be careful not to lose yourself in it, like the guy who wants to marry a
Right.
robot.
Exactly. Exactly. If anybody has any questions for Jennifer, please put them in capital letters in the chat box. There's a lot going on here. Let's see. Return 88 asks, do you see transformation happening in Ireland this year with the British Isles, including Southern Ireland, to become a part of the America Kingdom? Hmm.
Hmm.
Do you see the British Isles? Um, Not Ireland.
Mm. Thank you. Yeah. Um, comfort. Oh, no, they just retracted their question. Nancy said, "I'm a star seed. Why did I come here now? And who is my star family?" My hand.
It's it's like a full reading, and I don't know if I can find out who your star family is, but um, to experience being human and being here takes a very strong, evolved soul to come and live in this life in this place right now.
Yeah, right. I'm sure many of us are asking that question right now.
Yeah, we're terribly optimistic before we come here. Oh, I'm just going to go down
Right?
and suffer a
About
lot, and
this.
it's fine because time is different in the other dimensions. In heaven, what we always hear
Mm,
from when we do readings for loved ones who passed away for people is like, it's like, why haven't you contacted me? Why haven't you come in a dream? It's been so long. It's been years. And they're like, what are you talking about? I just left. It's completely different to
mm,
them. So a lifetime to
mm,
them is like, I don't know, months, couple months. We'll see you in a couple months. And then we get here and it seems very long to us. It's depends on the speed at which energy travels through the dimensions is going to dictate the speed of time. Uh,
mm, mm, mm.
That's what they told me.
Here's one from Crystal, or Kathy, about a friend, Ben. When will he be able to have no contact order removed? He misses his family, especially his boy.
Okay, so I need a name. I need to find that person energetically. So what was the name?
His, his name is Ben. Ben. Mm.
He wants to know when he's going to have his no contact order removed.
He, Ben is a friend of Kathy, um, who I think is asking the question. Yeah. But
Seven
yes,
months.
when will 7 months? Okay. Cool. Travis Davidson was wondering, will I find a new house in the next month?
3 month mark. It's more rural than where you're living now. It's kind of on a slope. Um, 3 or 4 bedroom. Yeah. Not sure where it is, but that's what it looks like.
Nice. Nice. Suzanne Black is asking, when will I find a partner, long-term relationship, and is there anything you can tell me about him? That's a big reading. Yeah.
August, September. You meet in some kind of public setting. He walks up to you. It looks like a wedding of some kind, or there's round tables with tablecloths there. Looks like some kind of get together party wedding. Button up, maroon colored shirt, black pants.
Hmm. Ooh.
and that's all I
Sounds
can
like
tell you.
Auggie.
Yeah.
Go Augie.
Um,
Somebody invites you to a wedding in August, take it. Go.
Maybe there's hope for me at all.
Lori asks, can you please tell me if my daughter will talk to my husband and I soon? Aw.
2 to 4 weeks on the phone.
Hmm.
Yes.
Um, Elaine Barngrover asks, um, will I be going to Kenya in the future?
That's gonna take some time. I'm looking at about 18 months, but
Hmm.
yes.
Jordan asks, do you see me changing careers this year?
I think he retired soon.
Hmm. Cindy asks, will I get the piece of land I'm looking at for my humanitarian project?
No, it's not that one.
That's the one.
It's in the area. That one's got drainage problems. The it's not gonna work. So you decide on another piece of property.
Tina Skinner says, hey Jen, wondering if we are still purchasing just the land next to us and for all the land around the lake. Thank you.
You can add some parcels of land to that purchase, but not all of it. Some of it's spoken for or owned, or there's some reason why they won't let you have it. Yeah.
Mhm. Let me scroll down. Somebody said that there's no sound. If there is no sound, Max, can you check on that? Um, Kim, Kimball Davis is asking, can you tell me if my three boys who passed are near me and how do I contact them? Aw.
Go to jenniferfallaw.com and email me, and I'll give you a free reading, and we'll contact them. It's gonna take.
That's so sweet. So sweet. That's so sweet.
Yeah, she
See
thinks so.
me moving? Do you see me moving, Jennifer?
Yes, I'm in like July, something like that. Somebody assists you with doing that. You're okay. Stop doing that. Don't worry about that. Um, felt that right off. So, yes, but someone, a male, it feels like a younger male comes and assists you in moving. I don't know if you go with him or pair up with him. But you do get into a new place. Look happy about it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
If I'm not happy, I'm not going. Um,
Right.
let's let's see. Jamie Jamie Moore said, "Why did my deceased husband leave me the way he did? Was I not enough?" Aw, Jamie.
I know what you mean. I know what you're feeling.
Yeah.
I was widowed too. And these are the emotions. And I even thought that why would he ever do that to us? Why would he leave? But you have to understand that on the other side, we all sit down together and just imagine all these people in this room. and we plan out when we'll come in, who we'll engage with, and why. And even your best friend on the other side could be the one who was the first one to break your heart and totally betray you. And you're saying, well, I'm going to need somebody out here to break my heart and be the worst person I've ever met. And your best friend in the back of the room raises her hand and says, I'll do that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So when we get home, there's a different understanding. It doesn't have anything to do with you as to why he left, other than fitting into your path and your journey and your experience, um, the way it did, and many others. Some people don't choose to stay here very long. So it wasn't about you. He didn't leave because of you.
Yeah. Oh, totally sure you have somebody would feel that way.
Mhm.
Um, Star Wanderer says, Jen, I'm Albert. What can you say about me?
Fanciful, highly intuitive, responsible, but likes freedom. You got a crush on some kind of girl, and I don't know if I should say that out loud. So, sorry about that. Um, and you're good with your hands, woodworking or tools or mechanics, something like that.
Mm,
Without a question, I just get random stuff about who you are and what you like.
that's really cool. Very cool. The Andromedan says, I want to know what's my reality look like. Mohandan H is his name.
It looks like this. It looks like you watching this video right now.
Sure.
How to answer that? I mean, there's so much information.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is a lot,
open
right?
your eyes and look around because that's what it looks like. It is an accumulation and the manifestation of every choice, every thought, everything that you've ever made, ever had.
Mm,
That's what it looks like.
mhm. Pretty, pretty vast.
Hmm.
Um, Michelle Anderson says, Jen, will my husband get the promotion at work?
What's the name again?
Michelle Anderson.
Crossed over. I'm sorry. No, not this time.
Not this time. Regina N asks, will my son walk again?
I don't know if it's stem cells or it's a med bed,
Mm,
but yes, later.
awesome. That's awesome. Lori John, J-A-H-N. Uh, my mom and I lost my dad to the pandemic scam and my brother in 2013. Are they with my mom and I?
Often.
Mm,
Yeah, I see
that's
them just walking down the hallway, looking in the rooms, standing off to the side when people are sitting at the table. Yeah, different flashes of them being there.
uh, beautiful. Um, Linda asks, am I staying in Canada? Would love to know about travel plans.
Linda?
Linda.
Linda. You're too well to set up the travel plans or the moving plans. See you talking with other people about it, and I believe these are family members. Um, Planning something for mid to late fall.
Hmm. Cool. Susan asked, "Hi Jen, should I go to India to meet Jesus in July?"
Like Jesus. I hope that's like a person in the to meet Jesus in July. Now, if you got that intuitively, like you must go to India to meet Jesus in July, don't do it. All right. Divine is never going to tell you to do anything. They will encourage you to come to your own decisions on everything. If it's a real person, let's see. Oh, it is. Yeah, late July. Yeah, I think you can pull that off.
Fun. Right? Huh? Uh, will I be moving? And if so, when? A lot of moving around happening.
These clocks.
Yeah.
Just yet. Oh, I think you built.
You think what?
I think she built a home.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Because what I see is her
Bring me.
starting to advance to move with that idea and then pulls back and thinks about something bigger. Like, maybe I'll just make exactly what I want. And I think you do that.
Cool. Sounds like fun.
Hmm.
Bring me more. Ask, will I be moving towns?
Like 2 towns over, 2 blocks of spaces over. Yes.
Beautiful. Janet Ballard asked, do I purchase my old family farm in Virginia after the Aage? Thanks, Jen.
Yes, but not for yourself. I think you purchase it for other family members or to keep it in the family just to purchase it. You do not live there.
Mm. Cool, you get really specific about things. Michelle, the Michelle Lammers, when, where might I meet my forever man, or am I talking to him?
No. Let's see how much I can get on that without ruining any surprises or anything. Um, the one you're talking to, there may be an opportunity there and a choice to make. One way or another, you end up with somebody for a long period of time. I'm never going to tell you forever because I don't want to interfere with your choices if you should decide that you should go. Um, One way or another, your path is leading to a place of security and relationship. There are two choices that you could make.
Tony Davis asked, will we be fulfilling our dreams?
Depends on which one you're talking about. Let me just ask Gabriel and see, because he'll probably know what you mean. No, it's going to take a little. Well, the soon part is what's throwing me. Like your concept of soon, it's to you, it's not going to seem like soon.
Hmm.
If you're talking, I think you're talking about your own personal dream,
Mhm.
and if you are, that's going to take some time to come to fruition.
Mhm. Um, well, there's
Six
no
months.
name here. Um, 77 Wild, can you please put your name really quick in the chat so I can pose the question? Anthony asks, will I ever find my soulmate on Earth? Anthony Metzger.
What you'll find is what we call a kindred spirit, and it feels just the same. Okay, but your actual soulmate is not incarnated right now. Um,
Oh,
Souls are created like a yin and a yang. Okay, and a lot of times they consider each other like brother and sister. So when people say soulmate, it just I don't like that. So what we have are these kindred spirits, somebody we have along that we've had other lives with and stuff. And there is a woman coming. Um, that has had at least 4 lifetimes with you. So it will feel very much like that, yeah.
wow. All right, one last one. The hour has just flown by. Cindy Gabel, Gabel. Why am I getting so many migraines? I have chronic migraines like 20 days a month.
Let's ask Jesus. Migraines are such a mystery.
Mm.
Part of it's hormonal, part of it is a magnesium deficiency. You have several reasons why you get migraines. You get a lot of tension in the back of the neck. It pushes on the nerves that lead up to the brain and they come around to the forehead. I would get tested and see where your levels are at for minerals and everything. There is a slight reference to blood sugar, and I think that might be it's a trigger. Okay,
Mm.
stress is another one because it depletes the magnesium levels. I think you're magnesium deficient. I really do. But there is another hormone. Uh, the hormones and the adrenals are attached to it. So that is a mystery. Yeah, that's not a quick fix there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's just do one more because this one pulls in my heart. Gary Massey said, "Hi Jen, my name is Gary. I have had breathing issues for a while now. Can you tell me what's causing it, and do you see me in a med bed soon?" Or,
It looks like asthma. The tissues in the when you do get some inflammation, it starts to get tight. So I would be tested for asthma. You can develop that at a later stage in your life. It doesn't really look like COPD. It doesn't look like emphysema or anything. I don't see any pockets. I don't see any deterioration. It just looks like that you're getting an inflammation in the tubes and the lung tissue. So yeah, I'd say asthma. Either that or you're allergic to something. I don't know what would
mm,
produce that, but
mhm, good
yeah,
point.
I'd get tested for
Um,
that.
thank
Keep an
you.
inhaler
What?
on hand for the next time this happens.
Just in case. Yeah. Um, Margaret asked. This is going to be the last one. Margaret asked, "Will I see my children this year?"
Where's their last name on that?
Mhm. Margaret, what is the last name?
Daughter.
Stacy.
Tail end, right before Christmas. Yeah.
Oh,
There is a
nice.
reconciliation coming, and there's money in the middle of it.
Oh, oh my goodness. How does it get better than that? All right. Lovely. Jen, you're amazing. You're amazing. Yeah. Do you have a medical like a Western medicine background?
I studied marketing. My business management,
That's
no. It
incredible.
all comes from
That's
Jesus. I would
incredible.
not be able to do any of this. All glory to God. All glory to Jesus and his divine helpers, the archangels. I could not do any of this without them. And it's just,
Yeah,
I believe I can do it, and so I can. And and you got to keep your intentions divine. You have to keep it true. You have to keep your heart open and do it for
yeah,
that and no other reason. And then you can see.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I just felt like you were leading me down um an anatomy textbook when you were talking about the lungs. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's
That's-
really interesting. That started when I started doing the healings and meditation, just because somebody asked me to. And so now it's kind of like X-ray vision. It's almost like zooming into a medical video or drawing and describing what I see. I've learned a lot over time from that. But it's really neat when, we go from the top of the head to the bottom of somebody's feet, and then they go to the doctor and they come back and tell you, yes, it's all been confirmed. And it's like, nobody can tell me Jesus doesn't exist when I do that all day long, every day. You know,
yeah. Yeah.
if you were on the fence, have faith now because it's absolutely real. I'm not that
Thank you.
good. Okay.
You
There's a
are,
fly.
but I understand.
I mean, like, yeah, I don't, that's not me. That's just me agreeing to do that for them,
Yeah.
for God's children. So,
And we
and I
are
love
so
it.
grateful that and we are so grateful that you do it. I mean, clearly you're helping so many people at such a pivotal time, and this is such a beautiful wavelength to end on because the producers giving me the elbow, nudging me that we're running over. But then tell people how they can reach you, please.
Well, you can go to jenniferfallaw.com. My name's right there on the screen, Fallaw.com. You can get a healing from me. You can purchase a reading. You can get my 9 video classes. They'll take you from the beginning of psychic development all the way to interdimensional travel and the projection of consciousness and interdimensional meditation. Learn to do what I do. 9 video classes to own. You can also find me on most of the time I'm on Telegram because we're not censored there. I am Philosophy, play on my name, Philosophy on Telegram. With an Fallsophy. And that's the best place to go to find me, really. And my email is on the website.
Great, Jen. Thank you so much. This is
Yeah,
so
thank
much
you.
fun.
Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
having me on. It's always a pleasure, you guys. We could talk for hours about all this stuff.
It's true.
So
That hour
interesting.
absolutely melted. Yeah, it melted. Thank you, everybody, for being here. The chat room was just so full, and just, I don't know. I just have such a warm feeling. The energy was just so lovely. I think I'm feeling the presence of the angels that you bring with you, Jen. I just feel such a sense of love. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Sending,
Good.
oh, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sending Sending out love to everybody tonight. We'll see you right here next week. Don't forget, Augie's got the Sunday show, the paranormal show at 8 p.m. Eastern. And so much love to you all. Thank you guys. Good night.